Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. May I have your attention, please? Thank you. Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Miguel Raimilla. I'm the Partnership Director at EarthCorps, and it's my duty this evening to remind us all that we are in the ancestral land of the coastal Salish and the Wamish people. Their spirit lives and remains ever present in this land we call home. However, the privilege of living here is a direct result of a tragic history of injustice, stolen land, violence, and suffering tribes in Puget Sound have endured for many years. These dark events in our history cannot be forgotten. The Wamish people continue to live among us, significantly contributing to our community's culture and society. We at EarthCorps believe that it is our responsibility to seek new ways to work with them in pursuit of a future in which people and land thrive in harmony, justice, and peace for all. Thank you all for being here tonight.
Thank you, Miguel. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us here at Revive. We are so thrilled to welcome you all to this event. As many of you know, we have held virtual events for the past 2 years. So I speak for everyone at EarthCorps when I say you all look great in 3 dimensions. My name is Sabrina. I joined EarthCorps as a crew member earlier this year in February. I've always been passionate about the environment, and I came to this program eager to learn what I can do to preserve our beautiful planet. I dove right into the world of restoration and fell in love. A few months in, I had the opportunity to step into my current role of crew lead. So I took the challenge and continue learning, but also I now teach and lead crews in restoration projects. The experiences I've had have been incredibly meaningful and rewarding. I'm so excited to be here, and it is my pleasure to be your host for this evening. Now, a question. Did you know that next year will be EarthCorps' 30th anniversary? That makes tonight, yes. So that makes tonight a wonderful time to all come together and talk about all that we want to do next. I'll share that since our founding, we have worked with partners and local volunteers to steward and restore more than 11,000 acres of priority natural areas and plant more than 1.7 million trees and shrubs around Puget Sound. Yeah. Amazing. We've also created generations of environmental leaders that span the globe and include our keynote speaker this evening. Thank you all for giving us your Saturday evening and coming to the celebration. I hope you find tonight to be inspirational. So I'm now pleased to introduce our first speaker of the night, Evlyn Andrade, the Executive Director of EarthCorps. Evlyn brings her past experience leading both political and nonprofit teams to EarthCorps, focusing on incorporating diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as social and environmental justice principles. Evlyn previously was a policy advisor on land use, environment, and environmental justice to San Diego County Board Supervisor Tara Lawson-Remmer. She joined EarthCorps in early 2022, and we are thrilled to have her on our team. Please welcome Evlyn Andrade to the stage.
Thank you, Sabrina. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all having a great night. Thank you so much for being here and for your support. As she said, my name is Evlyn Andrade. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the new executive director at EarthCorps. It's an honor to be here with you all. I just want to take a minute to acknowledge Mayor Bruce Harrell for being here tonight and for signing into law the Green New Deal Opportunity Fund. Thank you. I also want to take this time to thank our generous sponsors who made this possible tonight, especially our lead sponsor, Boeing, for making this event possible. Boeing, who I just learned has been net zero for the last 2 years. I joined EarthCorps this past January, and so many times I have to take a deep breath and take it all in because I'm full of so much gratitude. I want to thank my team who made this night possible. They've welcomed me to the EarthCorps family. I'm so honored that I get to work with such passionate and dedicated people every single day. I also am grateful to the EarthCorps board for their tireless partnership and unwavering commitment to EarthCorps. Thank you. I also have a lot of appreciation for all of you tonight, our partners, our donors, our volunteers. You help make our community strong and whole. Thank you for being here. And I want to give a last special shout out to our Corps members, past and present. I'm so inspired by you. Day in, day out, rain or shine, our Corps members are caring for these beautiful land and waters that we get to call home. If you haven't already, I encourage you to go out and spend a day out with them and get to know them. They really give me so much hope for the future. I have so much love for this community. Yes, round of applause for the Corps. They're amazing. They are why we're here. I've got so much love for this community that has embraced me, and although it feels like I have lived in the Pacific Northwest for a long time, I'm actually a native Californian. I grew up in the, yes, go California! I grew up in the city and desert of LA, spent 12 years in the Oakland Bay Area, and the last 4 years in San Diego before moving to Seattle. I grew up in a large family with 11 brothers and sisters. Our immigrant parents gave us a home full of love, laughter, and lots of good Honduran and Mexican food, including pozole, menudo, tamales, and to this day, my absolute favorite food, plátanos. Imagine little me, 5 years old, eating a plate of plátanos in the city of Bell Gardens, surrounded by 4 major freeways where big rigs are hauling goods 24/7 to the ports, where there are industrial polluters all around us, including bleach and car battery producers. There were no parks that were safe from kidnappings, razor blades, or needles. So my dad would have to drive us 30 to 40 minutes away to the Santa Fe Dam or Silverwood Lake, which we absolutely love. We had a great time. But unfortunately, my parents worked late hours, so we didn't get to do that very often. Eventually, we moved from the city to a major commuter region, the desert, called the Antelope Valley. There, my little sister, at 10 years old, would be diagnosed with asthma. She had a really hard time breathing, and it was a very scary time. And as I look back on that now, I can correlate my sister's asthma to the environment that we grew up in and the exposure to toxic chemicals. I can now see why our green spaces were unsafe because community members experienced so much trauma that drugs and violence were the only way that they were able to cope with little resources to support them. And I can also now understand why we didn't have access to healthy food because instead of grocery stores, we had liquor stores. These conditions continue to be a reality for so many families in the communities that I now have the privilege to serve. I stand before you today passionate about helping those who have historically been left behind, passionate about engaging the community, and passionate about transforming our environment for the better. Before I share the strategy that we're putting in place to see this come to fruition, I have to share 2 EarthCorps achievements that were possible this year by the tireless work of our staff, the Corps, and our partners. Earlier this year, we had the opportunity to have a press conference with Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, where she highlighted our work on climate resilience and introduced the Climate Resilience Workforce Act. This legislation is a major investment in building a skilled workforce capable of preparing for and responding to the climate crisis, while creating millions of jobs and centering the communities who have historically and disproportionately been impacted by the climate crisis. This is huge, and I encourage all of you to go to her website to learn more. Yes, it's amazing. And is supporting exactly the kind of work that we do. I've also got the opportunity to go out with our crews a few times this year. One time joining them at the San Juan Islands, where we got to partner on a big project that we partnered with the Samish Indian Nation, the Washington Conservation Corps, and the Washington Department of Natural Resources. I'm so excited to share that we are close to hitting a really big milestone of removing 1 million pounds of toxic creosote logs that have been poisoning our beaches and waters. Yes, our Corps' done some amazing work out there. As we move into our next chapter, we hope to continue these types of relationships and partnerships as we work collectively towards advancing environmental justice. Can I please get a round of applause for our team, the Corps, and many of our partners? Thank you. Over the past 9 months, we've been working on defining EarthCorps' new direction. We've engaged staff, the Corps, our board, alumni, donors, volunteers, community members, partners, many of you in this room. And I'm so thrilled that you all have helped us create a new vision, mission, and strategic plan that I'm going to share with you as we embark on our 30th year. Slides are tricky sometimes. So EarthCorps envisions an equitable world where all people and nature thrive together. We know that environmental degradation disproportionately impacts low-income communities, communities of color, and our tribal and indigenous communities. We acknowledge that our work has not always allowed everyone to thrive, and in order to realize our vision, we need to shift our focus to ensure that all people in all places thrive. Moving forward, we are committed to working in the communities most impacted, centering their voices and their ideas in our work. EarthCorps has always been about harnessing the energy of young leaders to make the world a better place. And today, the world is in desperate need of healing from racism, colonialism, sexism, and other oppressive systems. Thus, we've also updated our mission to ensure that we're graduating Corps members with the critical skills needed to lead in today's world while supporting all the work our community partners do to impact change. Our updated mission statement is to cultivate leaders and community partnerships to advance environmental justice. Thank you. This goal is going to be achieved by focusing on the following 5 strategies. I want to be clear, we will continue to deliver an exceptional hands-on experiential leadership program, which has always been central to the work we do. However, we are going to shift who we partner with, what types of restoration projects we work on, including how they're funded. We are going to shift how we support our leaders, all while continuing to build an anti-racist organization inside and out. Our first priority is to increase partnerships with organizations and initiatives led by people of color that advance environmental justice, support underrepresented communities, and advance youth development. We're strengthening our partnerships with local schools and colleges to establish pipelines for Corps members from underrepresented communities in our region. You're going to see a significant increase in our community engagement and our volunteer program next year as we start to invest in this work. We're also going to work to strengthen the community and discover their needs and actualize projects that we create together with community. This includes expanding the type of work that we do and ensuring that we're restoring the environments of our most impacted communities. For example, we're currently working on exploring a new program that provides hands-on experience for our core members to learn about sustainable farming, food security, and culturally relevant foods. As we continue to support environmental leaders, we're going to keep evolving our curriculum to build the critical skills needed for today's environmental movement with environmental justice and racial equity as part of the lens that includes cross-cultural fluency, advocacy, community engagement, and hands-on environmental restoration work experience. We're going to place a special focus on increasing access to environmental careers for youth of color. For those of you who are working in the environmental field, please, let's talk. We want to know how we can partner with you and your organization to get more young adults of color working for you. We're also going to be steadfast in our commitment to building an anti-racist culture by fostering a community and culture of belonging and establishing goals for representation across all levels of the organization to reflect the dimensions of diversity in our community. Much of this work has already begun. We've increased transparency in our organizational processes and been more inclusive in our decision-making, but we still have a ways to go. None of this can be possible without shifting our funding model. This includes growing our resources and diversifying them so that they're sustainable for our growth. Our plan is to exponentially grow our grant revenue and bring in more people, like all of you, to our community to support and help advance our collective cause. It's together that we can imagine an environmental justice for our region. But we can only do it with leaning into our time, our treasure, and talent. It's our strong belief that by working together, all people and nature can thrive. It's through collective engagement that we will get to a more just world. We're committed to transforming our environment for the better so that the next generation is not just dreaming of breathing fresh air, like my little sister, but they're actually living with fresh air, safe parks, and fresh food. If you want to join us in this journey, please, please continue to invest in this work. We can't do it alone. We cannot do it without your support and anyone else you know that imagines a more equitable world where all people and nature thrive together. Thank you for being at Revive. Thank you for being part of our community. And thank you for uplifting the vision of environmental justice that's bringing EarthCorps into its 30th year.
Wow, thank you, Evlyn. What a powerful and inspiring vision. It is now my pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the evening, Alberto Rodríguez. Alberto is both a former EarthCorps core member, but also a former crew lead like me. Coming from Honduras, Alberto has focused his work since EarthCorps on environmental restoration, environmental justice, and racial equity. In 2016, Alberto joined the City of Seattle to lead the new Duwamish Valley program, a place-based effort to advance environmental justice and equitable development. Please join me in welcoming Alberto Rodríguez to the stage.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you, Sabrina. Buenas noches. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I humbly stand on Duwamish land, and I'm grateful to the Duwamish and other Coast Salish peoples who have been stewarding these lands since time immemorial. My name is Alberto Rodríguez. I use he, el pronouns, and tonight I am really proud to say that I was an EarthCorps International EarthCorps member in 2004. I was a crew leader in 2005 and an extern in 2010, 2011. It's an honor to be here with you all, the EarthCorps family, celebrating this incredible organization that changed my lives in so many ways that I never expected. Celebrating the work of the amazing core members and the staff and the difference they are making all over the world. Celebrating its new leader and celebrating a new direction and commitment to environmental justice and to becoming an anti-racist organization. I am really happy to be here, you all look so beautiful and amazing from up here. Maybe that's what I should have started with. I actually want you all, to turn to your neighbor and let them know that they look beautiful and amazing tonight. We're all family. It doesn't have to be weird. This is great. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for indulging me. You truly look beautiful and amazing from up here tonight. So about a year ago, I was in a car accident that could have been very bad. And I am very, very, very lucky that nothing happened to me, not even a scratch. But since then, I have been doing a lot of self-reflection and trying to practice more gratitude. In May, I went to Europe for the first time, and while I was standing in La Sagrada Familia in Barcelona, I was really overwhelmed with emotions. And I felt so fortunate to be standing in such a beautiful place, in a place that I never, ever imagined that I could see with my own eyes when I was growing up in Honduras. More recently, my entire family came to visit from Honduras for the first time. And something about seeing my dad, who's 83, he turned 83 a few weeks ago, and my niece, who's 5.5, picking berries in my yard and playing there, it reminded me of how lucky I am to spend time with them, even if sporadically. And it made me feel so fortunate that I can share my home, Seattle, even when my other home is 4,000 miles away. And more recently, actually, in the last month or so, I participated in 3 hiring processes at work. And that reminded me that I have been with the city of Seattle for more than 6 years and doing Duwamish Valley, Duwamish River-related work for the last 11. And then I realized that basically my entire professional career in the United States has been devoted to this place. And I really feel fortunate to work with and for amazing people and to do something that I really love and believe in. These and a few other things actually made me think about life in general, about my dreams, and about decisions that I have made. And tonight, I really want to invite you to do some self-reflection too. And I would love it. I want to invite you to take a minute and think about a moment when you made a decision or pursued an opportunity that changed your life or the life of your loved ones. And while you're doing that, try to remember how old you were. I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. In the meantime, we will play some awesome music to get you inspired. Maestro? bring it back here. I love that you started talking to each other and sharing some of this stuff, so I'm not going to ask you to do that anymore. What I will ask you is actually to really hold that memory really, really, really close to your heart. And I want you, especially those feelings or emotions that it brought up for you. I promise we will come back to it later. Hold that really, really close to your heart. Personally, I thought about EarthCorps. And back in 2003, slides go. Yeah, back in 2003, I was going to college and volunteering with an organization doing environmental education through youth camps. This organization got a random invitation from this random organization in Seattle called EarthCorps to nominate volunteers to come to Seattle to train for 6 months on environmental restoration. In Honduras, in the environmental field, we talked a lot about conservation, but the concept of restoration was quite new. I was maybe one of 3 volunteers, bilingual volunteers with the organization, and the only one that was okay taking a break from school, leaving a decent paying union job at the university, and pursuing this opportunity. So in 2004, I came to Seattle and became an international Corps member. Okay, there we go. And I have 2 things to say about this organization. EarthCorps was the best decision I've made in my life, and EarthCorps changed my life. How come, you might be wondering? Well, through EarthCorps, I found, first, family. As you know, EarthCorps pairs up international Corps members with a homestay family. There we go, sorry. I was lucky enough, thank you, to go to Dave Tedda's and Kim Holscher's house. The connection between us was immediate, and they very, very, very quickly became my American family. And I mean that quite literally. When I came back to Seattle in 2010, I moved right back in their house. A few years later, in 2013, my sister got married, and Dave was invited to the wedding, and he attended the wedding in Honduras, and he was sitting right at the table, at the family table with all of us. I'm still in touch with them. I was actually just talking to Dave a few minutes ago. So hi, Dave and Kim. And I go to visit them in the Bay Area as often as I can. They were such a big part of my EarthCorps experience. But I am also thinking about my crew, the Corps members, and many of which actually have become family. And I am thinking about you, Jessica, Andrew, Monica, Marco, Dennis, Justin, Jen, and many, many others. Some of them are in that photograph. Some of them are in this other photograph. But I'm also thinking about other family and friends that I made because of EarthCorps. And some of them are actually here tonight. So Lily and Xing Xing, and Lawrence, and Lindsay over there. Mike, my saw here, and others who actually couldn't make here tonight. But Mario, I'm thinking about Mario, Jesse Dye, Mark and Agnes in DC. Thank you all for being part of my Seattle family. Because of EarthCorps, I also change. Okay, I'm gonna have to do some more dancing for you here. But because of EarthCorps, I actually also found love. And some of you know what's up, but I'm not gonna be sharing too many details with you tonight. What I'm gonna say is that while I was at EarthCorps, I fell in love not once, but twice. And it makes me happy to report that I am really good friends with these amazing women that I admire and respect dearly. because of EarthCorps, I also found a professional career. I got my undergraduate degree in biology and did a lot of research and hands-on work related to zoology, genetics, and water quality. Here I am, actually, when I was participating in the first ever toxic and edible mushrooms of Honduras study. I also went to really remote places in Honduras looking for jaguars and cougars. And at some point, I ended up doing a lot of scuba diving and petting sea turtles for a living every day. So anyhow, my college education, paired with the technical skills I acquired through my first stint at EarthCorps, gave me a very solid background and to pursue a technical, maybe research-oriented career in the mainstream environmental field. This sounded perfect because, honestly, I never wanted to work with people. Animals and plants are way more predictable. So in 2010, I came back to Seattle and did an externship that involved doing outreach and education around toxic sediment cleanup, which was an interesting challenge that forced me to work with people. And this is when I realized that people are not so bad. And no, I'm kidding, actually. I love working with people now. I mean it. But that externship actually turned into a job offer with the small but mighty local community-based organization called the Duwamish River Community Coalition. And that eventually turned into a job offer with the city of Seattle. In my current job, I lead a place-based interdisciplinary program of 18 departments coming together to advance environmental justice and equitable development in the South Seattle neighborhoods of South Park, just across the river, and Georgetown, where we're at tonight. And since, so much love. Since 2016, we actually have been able to leverage more than $135 million in investments and invest those millions of dollars in ways that truly advance environmental justice and racial equity outcomes. I love what I do, and I love the people I work with. And a special shout out tonight to Mayor Bruce Harrell, who's in the house, and to many of my colleagues and members of the Green New Deal Oversight Board that are sitting back there. So yes, because of that externship, I shifted my focus from mainstream environmental action to environmental justice work. And last, because of EarthCorps, I found a home. Because of EarthCorps, I moved back to Seattle and I made a home in this beautiful and amazing city. But I want us to talk, all of us, to really talk and really think about environmental justice in the new focus for EarthCorps, per the new vision, mission, and strategic plan that we just heard Evlyn talk about. But I want to make sure that we're speaking the same language so I will share a definition, which is up here, of environmental justice as defined by those most affected by said injustices. So from Green Action, according to Green Action, environmental justice refers to those cultural norms, values, rules, regulations, behaviors, policies, and decisions to support sustainability, where all people can hold with confidence that their community and the natural environment is safe and productive. Environmental justice is realized when all people can realize their highest potential without interruption by environmental racism. And I'll come back to that in a minute. Environmental justice is supported by decent paying jobs, quality schools and recreation, decent housing and adequate healthcare, democratic decision making, and personal empowerment. A community of environmental justice is one, yes, in which both cultural and biological diversity are respected, and where there is equal access to institutions and ample resources to grow and prosper. And there are just a couple of things that I really want to highlight in underscore from what this definition brings up for me. And that is that environmental justice really broadens that perspective of environment beyond the scope of conservation, preservation, and restoration of natural resources, and actually defines environment as where we live, work, play, learn, and worship. It also talks about environmental racism, which is the disproportionate impact of environmental hazards on Black, Indigenous, and people of color. So environmental justice is actually that vision and the work that we all need to do to undo environmental racism. But let's look at environmental injustice at the local level. Let's come down from that cloud up in the air. I didn't know this was over there, but did you know that the 98108 zip code, home to the neighborhoods of South Park and Georgetown, actually one of the most diverse zip codes in the nation? Yeah. Of the approximately 5,600 people, let's go back if someone can help me. Great, thank you. 63% are people of color, of which 42% are immigrants and 30% are Latinx. Life expectancy is a full 13 years lower than in less diverse, more affluent neighborhoods in Seattle, some of which are less than 5 miles away. Did you know that 100%, and I'm going to repeat myself here, 100% of people who live in Georgetown live within a half-mile from a polluted site? For example, the Duwamish River, Seattle's only river, which is just a few blocks that way, is a Superfund site, or one of the most toxic, hazardous waste sites in the nation. Duwamish Valley residents actually, and workers have access to approximately 140 square feet of green space per capita when compared to the Seattle average of 387. Community members are actually constantly exposed to the most polluted air in the city, given the proximity to industrial and manufacturing facilities and major highways. This has resulted in childhood asthma hospitalization rates that are almost twice the average of the county. And of all the land in Seattle, all the land that will be affected by sea level rise in the next few years, 80% is actually just across the river in the South Park neighborhood. Historically, policy decisions of government agencies and the public sector have contributed or even caused these kinds of situations. In other words, these communities have been overplanned, overstudied, and underdelivered, sometimes intentionally. So in order to achieve environmental justice, we all, government, community, nonprofits, philanthropy, businesses, we all need to work together to ensure that everyone benefits from environmental work, including environmental or ecological restoration. So we need to have an unwavering, intentional focus on environmental justice and racial equity. Those two things need to be front and center. Nothing about us without us. So today, more than ever, seeing the new direction and intentional focus to environmental justice and an anti-racist culture, I am proud to be part of the EarthCorps family. I am incredibly excited about its new leadership and the new direction and focus of the organization. But this journey will not be easy. It will not be easy, but the results will be life-changing and rewarding. And true to our values and who we are as individuals, but also as who we are as the EarthCorps family. It will require hard conversations and changes. It will require more representation of those most affected by environmental injustice in the board, and the staff, in the Corps, in how it shows in our partnerships, and in the places where we do work. It will require developing new, transformational, not transactional partnerships. Sometimes we will have to lead from behind. It will require expanding our definition of environment and adjusting our curriculum accordingly, recognizing intersectionality and the interdependence of issues and opportunities. It will require thinking about who defines success and how we measure it. It will require supporting the vision of a new leader, a new executive director, that does not only bring professional experience and talent, but lived experience as a woman of color. And I actually want to make a parenthesis here because due to the patriarchy and sexism and misogyny and unconscious bias, women, especially women of color, encounter many more obstacles when taking a leadership role. We really need to remember this and support Evlyn appropriately. But before I close, I want all of us to go back to where we all started and to think about that moment when we made a decision that changed our lives. How many of you went to a time when, in your late teens, early 20s? Can you please raise your hand? Like several of us, okay? I'm with you. This is exactly where I was at, and actually this is exactly where our on-the-ground heroes, the Corps members, are today. Can all the Corps members please stand up or raise their hands if you're in the room, please? Yes, thank you. Thank you. Here they are. Many of them might be in that very moment in their lives, even if they don't know it yet. I didn't. But I was lucky enough to have a people and system in place, people that believed in me and supported me. And tonight, they also need our support, our financial support. And I don't know about you, but I am in. EarthCorps has been there for me for 18 years, for people like me for 29, and I plan to be there for EarthCorps, for Evlyn, for the staff, for the Corps, many of whom, like Vanessa, traveled thousands of miles to be here with us tonight. Quite honestly, I would not be the person that I am today without EarthCorps. As I mentioned in the beginning, EarthCorps was the best decision I've ever made, and EarthCorps changed my life. And I really hope you can join me tonight by supporting them so they can keep changing lives here, keep changing lives all over the planet, and changing the world. Sí se puede.
Wow, thank you so much, Alberto. That gave me chills. So shifting gears as we enter the next stage of the evening, I am pleased to share a 5-minute video that has been made by Jason Chen. So please shift your attention to the nearest screen, and I hope you all enjoy.
This is why I like driving to work, because I get to drive by all this. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
What is what you?
Oh. Hoping is believing in something greater than yourself.
In the early 90s, I was running environmental programs in my native country, Chile, when I came across some Peace Corps volunteers. They told me up here in Seattle, there was a similar organization running similar programs, and they were looking for partners in different countries. That's how my first connection started. My role at EarthCorps today focuses in building new relationships with communities of color in South Seattle and in the cities of Tukwila and Burien, primarily. One of the most significant aspects of my work is the opportunity to connect with an incredible array of people who shown an incredible level of resilience and creativity and their capacity to overcome the challenges they face. That has always been an inspiration for me, and it fuels my enthusiasm, my energy in my work every day.
I think teamwork and crew bonding are some of the most important aspects of the work we do. These are the qualities that we need if we're going to take on these large-scale issues like climate change. Last year, I was working at an office job near my hometown in southeastern Pennsylvania, and just hearing about everything happening, I felt like I couldn't sit idly by anymore. So I took a risk and I quit my job, moved across the country, and pursued this new purpose. Some of the things I enjoy about crew leading is that it is both challenging and empowering. You know, it's one thing to learn restoration, but it's a whole other thing to have to teach and lead crews out on these projects. There's a lot going on all the time, and I find that to be really exciting, you know?
So today we're working at Sacagawea Park, which is a green space in North Seattle. I'm working with volunteers to remove a non-native plant called English ivy.
Sometimes when I'm leading volunteer events, I get this question, why don't you just get a bulldozer or hire a group of people to come out here to do this work? And my answer to them is always that it's so important that we involve everybody in the work that we do, because I think that's the only way that we can really get people to be invested in taking care of the land. We live in a world that I think sometimes discourages building true and authentic relationships with people. Our work in environmental restoration can only succeed if we can work with other people across difference. So that's really why I value the work that I do at EarthCorps, because strangers are forced to hang out with me.
We want to honor all EarthCorps past and all EarthCorps has done to get us where we're at and to steward the land and really shift it in a new direction to propel it forward to what we need to really solve the climate crisis.
When you think about the environmental justice movement, those are all spaces that are primarily white dominated. This means that voices of people of color, as well as other historically marginalized groups, have been either intentionally or unintentionally excluded from these movements and from these spaces.
It's no longer enough to focus only in restoring the land. We have to do more. The communities of color in underserved communities are the ones suffering the most from this negative impact in the land.
We need to start to trust communities to know what they need and know what they want to see in the green spaces that surround them.
We want to first listen, be close, and connect with the community first, and with them start developing solutions that are going to be more sustainable, more appropriate, and more relevant for the communities that we're trying to serve.
If we want people to build relationships with the land, we have to ensure that they have access to green spaces. You can't expect people to love something that they don't have access to.
We have to have hope. That's the only way we're gonna get out of this crisis, is by believing that we can. Believing that there are solutions and that we can achieve them and that we will get out of this together.
The work is endless, but week after week, year after year, at EarthCorps, people are coming out to do this work, reaching back before colonization, when indigenous tribes were still caring and tending for the land, even in the face of impossibility. That's why I think it's important to put people first. That's how you build a new community and a new generation of people who care.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tania Elahi. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the honor and the pleasure of serving as the president of the board of directors here at EarthCorps. I really want to thank each of you for coming here tonight. This work is deeply personal to me. I'm from Seattle. My great-grandparents came to Seattle back in the 40s with my grandparents in tow from the Great Migration from Jim Crow South and set up a new life here. I have family in this room. It makes me really excited to see that we are 4 generations and now my children make the 5th generation here in Seattle. This work means so much to me because I first encountered EarthCorps wanting to be one of these people here to volunteer to just plant a tree, clean up a park, make my neighborhood a little better. I wanted to bring friends along. I wanted to bring work people along. It was a work volunteer organization. I was actually able to bring people along. And it was just magic to me because I actually was a Peace Corps volunteer. And to see EarthCorps working in my hometown in almost in my mind, kind of a reverse Peace Corps way, it was just awesome and deeply impactful. And so, of course, I volunteered a little more. And then I was lucky enough to be nominated for the board, which I was super eager because I just wanted to learn and get involved. And here I am years later. And what makes me so excited is to see the evolution of EarthCorps and to see how much we've grown as an organization in almost 30 years. I've been a part of it for nearly 10 years. And I am so deeply proud and excited about our future. And I hope that you all were a bit excited about where we're going. Evlyn said something in the video that stuck out with me. It said, hope is believing in something bigger than yourself. And what I realized is I connected with EarthCorps personally, but when I started connecting with people like Sabrina, hearing stories about Alberto and other folks, I realized this is bigger than me and my experience. So I was deeply moved and inspired every day about this organization. And I hope you are here too, because this is a fundraising event. We need your support. We need to be able to shift our work into the future. We need to be able to heed the call that we have today. This is bigger than us individually. So I'd like to invite you, please, humbly, to give tonight. I know you came in this room, you probably had a number in your head. I'd like to ask you to just think about maybe a little bit bigger than that, because this is big work, and it takes all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Tania. As Tania shared, your support now will help fund EarthCorps' vision of an equitable world where all people and nature thrive together. For this reason, we are asking everyone who has the ability to make a donation to EarthCorps to do so. As you may have seen on the boards by the entrance, our needs span from community-wide volunteer events at $5,000 or more and go down to the plants we put in the ground at $50. That is why we will start tonight's donation request at $5,000. A gift of $5,000 is a significant donation that will allow us to work alongside communities of color in Puget Sound to create healthy, safe spaces. Is anyone able to donate at the $5,000 level tonight? We have a 394.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. We have a 184.
Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you all for your support. Next, a gift of $2,500 will ensure that EarthCorps has the funds needed to better identify and meet community needs. The funds required for our volunteer team to expand long-term engagement in the stewardship of parks. Is anyone able to donate at the $2,500 level tonight? We have a 357.
Thank you.
We have a
171. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We have a 290.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Amazing, thank you. Next, a gift of $1,000 will help our team establish relationships with community organizations and local schools to deliver experiential environmental education. Is anyone able to give at the $1,000 level tonight?
Wow, thank you, thank you. Oh, yes, 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 come on. Woo!
We have a 394,
Thank you.
a 214,
Thank you so much.
a 295,
Thank you.
a 192,
Thank you, thank you.
a 178,
Thank you back there.
and a 179.
Thank you. We got you.
We have a 162,
Thank you so much.
we have a 216,
Thank you, thank you.
359,
Thank you.
379,
Thank you, thank you.
208,
Thank you.
and 291.
Thank you. Thank you all. This is amazing.
Wow, thank you. With the donation of $750, EarthCorps can provide an entire Corps team with hard hats and essential safety gear. Is anyone able to donate at the $750 level?
Yeah. Thank you, 380. Thank you so much.
We have a 386.
Thank you.
Amazing. Next, a gift of $500 is very meaningful for EarthCorps, helping us purchase the weather gear to protect our Corps members from environmental conditions of all sorts. Is anyone able to donate at the $500 level?
Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Thank you.
We have a 207,
Thank you.
389,
Thank you.
a 384,
Thank you.
a 381,
Thank you, thank you.
a 185,
Thank you.
223.
Thank you so much.
We have a 376.
Oh, see you back there. Appreciate that.
We have a 163,
Yes, thank you.
377,
Thank you.
166,
All right, thank you so much.
375.
Thank you.
We have a 371,
Thank you, 371.
388,
Thank you.
287,
Thank you.
a 164,
Thank you, thank you.
a 201.
Thank you.
We have a 163,
Thank you.
a 370,
Thank you.
360,
Thank you.
and a 215.
Oh, thank you back there. Thank you, thank you.
Wow. All right, a gift of $250 will ensure that our team has the tools we need to tackle invasive plants. Is anyone able to donate at the $250 level?
All right, here we go. Here we go.
All right, we got a 193,
Thank you.
a 354,
Thank you.
a 188,
Thank you very much.
a 398,
Thank you.
a 397,
Thank you. Thank you.
a 221,
Thank you.
219,
Thank you.
364,
Thank you so much.
a 378,
Thank you.
a 209,
Wow, thank you back there.
a 399,
Thank you.
a 165,
Thank you.
a 372,
Thank you. Thanks, Mama.
a 199,
Thank you.
a 387,
Thank you.
195,
Thank you so much.
189,
Thank you.
393,
Thank you, 393.
and 202.
Thank you so much.
All right, that brings us to a gift of $100 that will help ensure that EarthCorps has the funds to plant the deciduous and evergreen conifer trees which keep us all healthy. Is anyone able to donate at the $100 level tonight? Nice.
All right, here we go, here we go.
All right, we got a 368,
Thank you.
a 159,
Thank you so much.
362,
Thank you.
a 382,
Thank you.
206,
Okay, 206, thank you.
296,
Thank you.
a 383,
Thank you so much.
a 203,
Thank you.
a 183,
Thank you, thank you.
364,
Thank you.
288,
Thank you.
a 210.
Thank you.
We have a 356,
Thank you.
a 369.
Thank you.
We have a 353.
Thank you, thank you.
We have a 292
Thank you.
and a 200.
Thank you.
We got a 180
Thank you.
and we have a 212.
Thank you, thank you.
Wow, thank you all so much. And finally, a gift of even $50 is significant to EarthCorps. From the trees and shrubs we plant to the hand tools we use to put them in the ground. Is anyone able to donate at the $50 level?
Yes. Thank
All right, we got a 351,
Thank you.
a 187,
Thank you.
a 385.
Thank you.
We have a 157,
Thank you, thank you.
a 213,
Thank you.
296,
Thank you.
a 395,
Thank you.
a 204,
Thank you.
a 396,
Thank you.
a 205.
Oh, thank you.
We have a 294,
Thank you.
a 390,
Thank you.
a 215.
Thank you.
Wow. And we have a 394.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Awesome.
And I will add that you are able to make a donation of any amount, less than 50 or whatever, like by your phones, I believe. So yeah, thank you so much. We appreciate the generous gifts many of you were able to provide tonight, but also want to note that not everyone is able to give money. Please know that we value you coming tonight, and we value the work you do to support our community.
Thank you again. I greatly appreciate your donations, your gifts, your time tonight. And I encourage you to continue to be involved with EarthCorps, whether it's through sponsorships and donations such as this, if it's coming out to volunteer in our neighborhoods and communities to do the work that you're seeing on the screen, or even if you're interested in joining the board, we welcome you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Wow. Each of us has the power to tackle the most pressing challenges facing our planet. Tonight, as we enter the next chapter of EarthCorps, we are making a commitment to shape our work through a lens of racial equity and environmental justice. Tonight, we have the opportunity to hear from Evlyn on that next step and Alberto, who broadened our understanding of environmental justice. Thank you both for your leadership. On behalf, let's. On behalf of EarthCorps, I want to share a huge and heartfelt thank you to everyone who has come tonight to support our new vision and celebrate and connect with our community. You make our work at EarthCorps possible. Now please get up and meet each other while we welcome back Eduardo Mendonça and Show Brazil. There will be desserts. Oh yeah. There will be desserts and warm beverages to enjoy and so many great people to meet. Thank you all for coming to Revive. And actually, we do have to pick a winner for our raffle, so we should quick do that. All right, we have a winner. The winning raffle ticket belongs to Keith Weir. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Give it up for Keith. So yes, thank you all for coming to Revive and for generously giving what you can and for being a part of the EarthCorps community. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.